Imagine a man so dangerously clever, no cage in the world could hold him. You put him in maximum security. He breaks out. You lock him in heavy iron chains. He melts them with his own food. Welcome to Furtivo, where human ingenuity becomes terrifying. Meet Yoshie Shiratori, the man who defeated the brutal Japanese prison system. Not once, but 4 separate times. His first escape was in 1936 from Aomori prison. Guards locked him up, but they left a wooden slop bucket in his cell. Yoshie extracted a stiff metal wire from the bucket and picked the lock. He vanished into the night, only to be recaptured days later. The authorities were furious. They sent him to Akita prison in 1942. They placed him in a secure cell with perfectly smooth copper walls. The ceiling had a tiny skylight, but it was impossible to reach. Or so they thought. Every night, Yoshie practiced climbing the smooth walls. And eventually pushed through the skylight, escaping once again. Now public enemy number 1, he was sent to Abashiri prison. The most brutal, inescapable freezing hellhole in all of Japan. Guards tortured him. He was locked in handcuffs and leg shackles 24/7. The cuffs were so tight they cut to the bone. He couldn't even move. But Yoshie noticed one fatal flaw: the miso soup they fed him every day. Miso soup is highly acidic and packed with salt. For months, instead of drinking it, he carefully spit his soup onto his handcuffs. The salt slowly rusted the heavy iron bolts until they finally snapped. But he was still trapped in the cell. The only exit was a tiny food slot. Yoshie did the unthinkable. He dislocated his own shoulders. He squeezed his broken body through the tiny slot and vanished into the blizzard. He was a ghost. Until he was caught again in 1946. Sentenced to death, he was placed in Sapporo prison. Guards checked on him constantly. They watched his ceiling and walls. But they forgot to check the floor. Using only an aluminum soup bowl, Yoshie dug a massive tunnel beneath his bed. He escaped his own execution. The country was in total shock. How do you catch a man who can break through anything? Ironically, it wasn't the police that stopped Yoshie Shiratori. A year later, an ordinary police officer offered him a cigarette. Tired of running, and moved by the random act of kindness, Yoshie smiled. And simply turned himself in. He served the rest of his sentence in peace, becoming a legend. No prison can break the human will.